Surrey is finally getting a second hospital to handle the massive population growth we've seen over the last few years. But if you think this $2.8 billion project is just about adding more hospital beds, you're missing the bigger picture. In this video, I'm breaking down what's actually being built and why this project is about to reshape this part of Surrey. After more than 20 years selling real estate in this market, I'll show you which communities stand to benefit the most. Let's get started. Surrey has been growing for a long time, but over the last few years it's really picked up speed. Back in the early 90s, Surrey had about half the population of Vancouver. Fast forward to today, and it's now the second largest by population and the largest city in Metro Vancouver by land area. If things keep going this way, Surrey is expected to pass Vancouver and become the largest city in British Columbia sometime within the next decade. And it's growing fast. Around 1,000 people move to Surrey every month. A lot of them are coming for work, and with more businesses and tech companies setting up here, that number isn't slowing down. That's great for the city, but it also means there's a lot more demand for schools, roads, park, and healthcare. And that's where the biggest problem comes in. Surrey Memorial Hospital was built when Surrey was much smaller than it is now. Since then, the population has taken off, but the hospital hasn't been able to keep up. That's a big reason why wait times have become such a challenge. In 2023, dozens of emergency room doctors signed an open letter saying the hospital was under constant pressure. They said patients having strokes, heart attacks, and even miscarriages were sometimes being treated in the hallways because there just wasn't enough beds available. The problem wasn't the emergency room itself. It was the people who needed to stay in the hospital had nowhere to go because there weren't enough beds. So they ended up staying in the ER longer than they should have. While that's happening, more patients keep coming through the doors, and before long, the whole system starts backing up. It's been the same issue for years. ER doctors, nurses, and other hospital staff have been saying over and over that they need more space, more staff, and more beds to keep up with the number of people coming in every day. And that's exactly why this new hospital has become so important. But the hospital is only part of what's happening here. I'll show you in a minute the other projects that are changing this area too. So stay with me. Now, there's another gap this project is designed to fit. Surrey has never had a dedicated cancer center, so anyone needing specialized cancer treatment had to travel into Vancouver. For many families, that means driving into Vancouver again and again while a loved one is going through treatment. And when you look at all of that together, it's pretty easy to understand why a second hospital has become such a priority for Surrey. And that being said, this project is about a lot more than adding hospital beds. The scale of what's being built is impressive, and that's what I want to show you next. But before we get into that, if you're wondering what your property value is, we've built a free home evaluation tour for homeowners in Surrey, Langley, and the White Rock areas. Just scan the QR code on your screen, enter your address, and we'll get you an estimate. And if you'd rather talk to someone, reach out anytime. I help homeowners decide when to sell and buyers find the right opportunities across Surrey, Langley, and throughout Metro Vancouver. You'll find all my contact info in the description below. Now, let's get back to the video. About a month ago, I stopped by the hospital site here, 180th Street and 55th Avenue in the heart of Cloverdale. Construction is well underway. There are cranes everywhere, foundations are already in, and it's easy to see just how big this project is going to be. In just a few years, this site will be home to a $2.88 billion hospital. It'll add more than 160 beds along with a new emergency department with 55 treatment spaces. The plan also includes 5 operating rooms and 4 procedure rooms, giving the region much more capacity to care for patients than it has today. A big part of the investment is also the new BC Cancer Center right beside the hospital. It will have more than 50 chemotherapy treatment chairs and room for up to 6 linear accelerators for radiation therapy. That means many families will be able to receive cancer treatment much closer to home instead of making the repeated trips into Vancouver. The project has grown since it was first announced, and so has the budget. It started at around $1.7 billion in 2021, then rose to about $2.88 billion by 2023. More beds were added, some design details were changed, and the cancer center became much larger than what was originally planned. BC's most recent budget commits over $11 billion to build new and upgraded healthcare facilities over the next 3 years, and this hospital remains one of the largest single projects in that plan. And if you're thinking about buying here, wait until you hear what this could mean for values nearby. I'll explain that more in a minute. Now, once everything is up and running, the hospital is expected to employ about 2,000 people, including doctors, nurses, technicians, and support staff. Those jobs also bring more businesses to the area because the people working here need places to eat, shop, and live nearby. The hospital is expected to be completed in 2029, with patients walking through the doors in 2030. The new hospital is one of the biggest projects happening in Surrey, but it's also being built alongside a lot of other infrastructure. Transportation, utilities, recreation, and employment are all growing at the same time. Those investments support each other, and together they're changing what this part of Surrey is going to look like over the next few years. A big part of that is the Surrey-Langley SkyTrain extension. It's a $6 billion project that will extend the Expo line about 16 kilometers from the King George station all the way to the Langley city centre on an elevated track. Now, if you're looking specifically at Cloverdale, the closest stations would be Hillcrest at 184th Street and Clayton. Those stations sit right next to the Clayton corridor, where the city has already planned for more shops, services, and jobs. That's usually how these projects work. Development starts showing up before the trains are even running because builders know the transit is coming. Once the line opens, the trip from Langley City Centre to King George Station will take about 20 minutes. Right now, that same trip is about 40 minutes by bus. Cutting that travel time in almost half gives people a lot more flexibility. It makes it much easier to live in Clayton or Cloverdale while commuting to other parts of Surrey or Metro Vancouver. Now, growth on this scale also means the area needs more power. BC Hydro is spending millions upgrading substations and transmission lines across Surrey and Langley to support all this new development, including the hospital. New substations are being built to serve tens of thousands of homes, and the biggest project is the McClellan substation near 196th Street and 54th Avenue. It's being expanded to keep up with demand between Willoughby and Cloverdale, and the final phase is expected to be in service by late 2029. The city is investing in the community too. Just down the road is the new $133 million Cloverdale Sport and Ice Complex. It has 2 NHL-sized rinks along with dressing rooms and seating for hundreds of spectators at each rink. I did a video about that not too long ago, so take a look in my YouTube and you'll find one on that. Once it's fully open, you'll see hockey families there every weekend, along with local tournaments and other community events. The city has even approved construction of a 3rd rink, which could be ready in early 2027 and be the home of a new junior hockey team. Just a few minutes away, Campbell Heights keeps growing too. Toyota Canada is building a new distribution facility there that's expected to open by the end of 2028. Campbell Heights has turned into one of the biggest employment hubs in this part of the Fraser Valley. Not that long ago, a lot of this land was acreage and farmland. Now it's filled with warehouses, office buildings, and businesses that keep bringing more jobs to the area. And when more people come here to work, a lot of them start to look for homes nearby, which is one more reason communities like Cloverdale continue to grow. The hospital is a big deal, but it's only part of what's happening here. The whole Cloverdale area is growing, and all these projects are moving it towards becoming a much bigger urban hub. So what does this all mean for your property value over the next several years? It's common to see homes near major hospitals become more valuable over time, especially within 500 meters. But those premium prices often show up after the hospital opens, not during construction. The hospital will also bring a lot of new high-paying medical jobs to the area. But not everyone working here will buy a home right away, so rental demand is expected to grow as more people look for housing close to work. Right now, Cloverdale is still one of those more affordable options compared to places like South Surrey and White Rock. But if these projects keep moving forward, there's a good chance that price gap won't stay that big forever. That's one of the reasons investors are already looking at older lots and land assembly opportunities around the future SkyTrain stations, especially in the Clayton and Fleetwood areas. We've seen before that areas around new SkyTrain stations often see some of the strongest growth, and that's why Clayton keeps coming up as one of those places to watch. If you already own a home in Cloverdale or Langley, I'd be watching the 2029 to 2030 timeline closely. That's when buyer excitement will likely start building as the hospital and SkyTrain get closer to opening. I don't think Cloverdale is going to look the same in 5 years from now. Between the hospital, the SkyTrain, and everything else that's planned, it's definitely a market I'd be keeping an eye on. If you're buying, selling, or just trying to figure out where your neighborhood is headed, send me an email at info@moteam.ca. I'd be happy to help you find the right home to buy or put together the right strategy to sell the home you're currently in. And if you're thinking about buying in the Surrey, Langley, White Rock, and surrounding areas, check out this next video here where I break down the projects shaping the market and what they could mean over the next few years. Hey, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in the next video.